2, 1, like Chad does. The Cadillac does that. The Chad. He goes 3, 2, 1, and then he says turn. But anyway, this is similar to that. This is a 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is the 1, 2, 3 show. I'm AK.
This is Hogg.
And we're here today to talk about, whether you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, we're here today to talk about the 2019 Royal Rumble, which is happening this Sunday, the 27th? 27th? Yeah. So today we're talking about the 2019 Royal Rumble, which first we're going to start off with Rusev versus Nakamura, which I'm going to let you take it. What's your take on it?
Well, I don't know. You know, I mean, the one thing that I really can't watch WWE programming through the whole thing anymore, but I would say that they can't. I don't think that they can recreate the same match that they had before. I really don't understand why they're actually back on the card. I guess they just needed a filler match or something like that. But I would probably say that Rusev would keep his championship. I don't think that they would have him change it so soon, since he, just won it not too long ago. And that match was actually a pretty decent match. So I don't see them recreating that match over again, just because, I don't know. I mean, if you have a good match one time, then you go back the second time and try to recreate things. It doesn't work the same way. So I would say that Rusev, he's going to retain his championship.
So this seems like a filler match
to me.
Somewhat. Just putting some superstars on
putting
some
some stuff together, because they needed a show.
All right, so next we're coming up with the cruiserweights, and you have the info on that.
Okay, that is it's champion Buddy Murphy, and then we have Kalisto, Akira Tuwaza, I guess is how I'm not for sure if that's how you pronounce his name or not, and then Itami. This one is a little bit of a surprise. I think it's going to be a pretty decent, a pretty decent high-flying match, because, they are 205 cruiserweights. Yeah. And Buddy Murphy.
Lucha's in there.
Buddy Murphy's actually, he's a decent. He went from something that was just kind of forgotten about to when he cut the weight and got to the 205. He's actually made a name for himself, and he's done some pretty good work since he won the championship. But like I said there, I don't really see anything happening there as far as anybody taking a title from him. It's going to be a pretty decent match.
It's just something to put a bunch of guys who all are familiar with each other and have the same type of style of wrestling. It's very fast paced, a lot of leaps and locks and jumps and third rope action, a lot of
leaps. That's all these guys do nowadays. They just leap and leap and leap. They can't do all the old school stuff.
Leap and Libby Poffo.
Yeah, that's a name from the past.
So continue from the cruiserweights, we have another match, brand new. This is the first time, right? Women's Royal Rumble.
I'm not for sure. I can't remember if they actually done that last year, because when they split that women's division and stuff up, they had.
I don't remember.
They done
tell us in the comments if we're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not exactly sure if they did have, because I think last year was actually the first time that they separated from the women's stars.
Well, they had TLC was first. They had women's TLC for the first time. They had the cage match for the first time. I don't think they've done a women's Royal Rumble. I think that's what they were talking about the last pay-per-view. But that was another first that they were looking forward to. But hey, if we're wrong, correct us in the comments. Yeah. But on to it, who are you looking to as far as coming out on top? Or let's just say this: you can't really say who's coming out on top, but who do you think the last at least 4 or 5 people will be?
I tell you who I would love to see. It's because she's my favorite female wrestler, Sasha Banks. But being that they're pretty soon going to be bringing the ladies tag team championship. My pick on that would be, if I was going to be the one booking people, I would probably give Sasha Banks and Bayley that title. Which Sasha Banks I guess she would be inside. She would be in the match, maybe not, since she's in the she's wrestling. No, she's wrestling Rousey, so I'm not even sure if she's in the match. But if not, I'd still say that I would wish Sasha Banks would win it. So, but I don't know.
Other than Sasha Banks, run down your top four.
Maybe Charlotte Flair, maybe a possibility. Then you have some. It's always a special treat for the Royal Rumble, and I love this. This is the best. This is my favorite pay-per-view of the whole year. Because what happens is you have a lot of surprises. You have people coming in from the past. There's usually somebody. So, is this like a, is this
Lita or somebody going to come in at number 4?
Is this Lita? Is this Trish Stratus?
Right.
Maybe, maybe possibly you have Kelly possibly coming back. I've seen something on the internet rolling around about Michelle McCool and Layla. I don't know, then you have other people from other areas, but to me, this is probably going to be one of my favorite matches out of all of them, just because of the fact that, I love the Royal Rumble match ever since it started, because of the surprise. And I would probably pick Charlotte Flair, maybe, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe in this match, it's the winner is going to go after a championship also. So I wouldn't.
This would be more of like a push match.
I wouldn't think that they would have the biggest show of the year and not have Charlotte Flair in a championship match.
So you're going with Charlotte Flair?
I would. Yeah, I would say Charlotte.
Next up, since you talked about it, we brought it up already. We're down the list, but let's skip to it. Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey for the Women's Raw title.
Well, as of today, there's a lot of speculation that Ronda Rousey is going to be done with WWE after WrestleMania, which I don't actually believe that that's going to be the case, because her contract, I believe, isn't up until the 2021. But I don't see. I'd like to say Sasha would win, but I don't see Ronda Rousey getting beat. She's just.
Well, we know she's the top dollar right now. Yeah, she's got the contract. I don't think her popularity has wind down yet. I think people are very excited when she gets out.
I do hope in this match that there is a wardrobe malfunction like there was live on Raw, and they don't put the black screen up there, because I want to see Sasha's booty. Batista love her booty. I love her booty too. Oh my God, amazing!
You're gonna. Hogg's pick is gonna stick with the Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I would like to see Sasha, title. But I just don't see Ronda. Which I like Ronda too, but I don't see her losing.
So you might be able to say then, if depending on the orders of the match, Sasha Banks could win the Royal Rumble, and then go on to, and then it'd be plausible that she would automatically lose. They puff it up the rest of the night. They'd say, hey, her match coming up later, she might be a double title winner tonight, which wouldn't happen, but it could be.
Right? Yeah, you never know what's going on.
Never know the writers. You never know.
Yeah, they have so many things happening now.
And a lot of talent. The talent pool is huge right now. So they got to start. Carving out names. SmackDown tag team: Miz and Shane versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Do we see? Is this anything?
He is the boss. Shane McMahon, it's like, okay, you never get.
Is this the McMahon era like Dad did, where Dad was? Because in SmackDown, the video game and a couple of those video games, he's a wrestler in them.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So
Shane always,
Shane O'Mac trying to take over a little bit.
When Shane always performs, he goes out there and he does a hell of a job, from start to finish.
Yes.
And personally, myself, I don't really like The Miz. I don't see why it would benefit them to be the tag team champions.
Because Shane's an office guy when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and it's just, the thing about it is, I just think that, I don't know. But something tells me, battery.
So, I got to agree with you. I don't, I see Shane going out there and doing a great job. I see Miz's popularity coming into play, but as far as the belts being taken away from Cesaro and Sheamus, as far as the storyline goes afterwards, because I think people are tired of remember the whole, oh, this person is going to come in and wrestle as tag team, as a guest or something, and then I think didn't.
You remember last year's Wrestlemania where they had the kid that was in the Undertaker.
Right. I mean, something ridiculous like that,
and Braun Strowman,
and then
it's like,
he goes on
what the hell?
Right, and anytime you gotta when you do that, when you isolate the tag team to one person like that, where there's a guest at a pay-per-view, or some an old wrestler comes back and Kurt Angle did that. Remember when Kurt came back? He got the tag team. He got the tag team titles for a little bit. He helped win the tag. Didn't he? I swear in the comments. Tell me if I'm wrong. This is AK. Tell me I'm wrong. But somebody tell me I'm right. That there was a time when Kurt Angle came out. He was either a guest referee or he was guest something, or he ran out and helped win the tag team, and then he couldn't defend it. The next time the title was on, I think it was one of the Raws or SmackDowns. The title was there. I mean, the tag team title was there, but there was only one person defending it because officially that person wasn't wrestling again. You know what I'm saying? That storyline.
It's the same, similar.
That's somewhat harder, but it's much easier to let the tag team title stay.
I haven't watched the programming here for a little while. Probably about 2 months, but. Shane and Miz do have they have some skills together as some charisma working together as a tag team, and who knows, it could possibly stick. But I would think that there's no reason to give them a tag team championship. I mean, because you don't really, I don't see where you'd be going with that. To me, it just would make no sense. And
it also ties down Shane. It ties him down because then he's stuck to something, whereas he is
the best. He is the best wrestler in the world because he won that champion. He won the trophy for the best wrestler in the world.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I mean that.
Let's
really
move on.
Me too. So
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Cesaro and Sheamus losing their titles.
So we're gonna go with Cesaro and Sheamus for that pick. Moving on, Women's SmackDown: Becky Lynch versus Osaka.
No.
Asuka.
Yes.
Osaka.
Asuka.
Let me do that again. Next up, Women's SmackDown: Becky Lynch versus Asuka.
Asuka. Yes. Asuka. Don't worry, AK. I can't pronounce her name either. It took me forever. Geez, man. My heart would tell me Becky Lynch because she has just been demanding so much heat, picking up so much heat from her Twitter account, from everything she does. I mean, Jesus, last month she basically was getting into a war of words with Road Warrior Animal, who is a freaking legend in this business. And, she calls herself the Man, taken from, her little feud from Charlotte Flair. And Becky is just like a hot product right now. And she is just like her promos. I mean, she literally went off, a couple weeks ago, or when John Cena come back, she basically, cut one on Cena and, had him flabbergasted. And it's like, Jesus, this girl's wise. I mean, she's a competitor. She goes out there, gives 100% from where she started to where she is now. She's just come leaps and bounds, and she's a great entertainer, and she probably has to be, if not the second best. Sasha Banks in my eyes is the best, but Becky Lynch, she's awesome. And her promos and stuff, so I would lean that way, but that's just because I like Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
I would think that
Asuka's been around a while now. She's not the commodity that maybe Nakamura is. You know what I'm saying? As far as imports, they only last so long. They really do.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
It's going to be a great match. But I don't know. I'm going to ride with you on that one, Becky Lynch. I think she's going to take that.
I would hope that happens, but,
them, the writers.
I'm probably wrong with all my all my predictions, but you know, I mean, hell, that's why we predict this shit, because you know, I mean, it's
fun to figure out if you're on the pulse or not. You know,
I take my favorites and I want to live and die by them. You know, I mean, but you know,
there's also the reality of it.
Yes.
Next up, we got the WWE title, AJ Styles versus
Daniel Bryan. Oh my gosh, AJ Styles, man, you're always there someplace trying to do some stuff. You know, I mean, good. Daniel, this push that Daniel's getting right now is well deserved. I mean, I think he worked for it. He spent the time out, you know, I mean, dealing with his injury, thinking he'd never wrestle again. They give him this second push, and, you know, I mean, he's doing some different things with this second push because, you know, I mean, he's getting under people's skin a little bit more than what he ever has.
And we talked about this off camera, that he's not going back to the yes moniker thing until he's gonna take this heel thing full out. They're gonna railroad him with some side story that's gonna make him a bleeding heartthrob. You know, please, Daniel Bryan, help me situation. You know, they did those helpless in the ring situations, which brought a heel back to the, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's hope it's not that, but yeah, I think
I don't
Styles is a great wrestler. You know, phenomenal. The Japan circuit, right? AJ did Japan shit.
This is going to be a really good match.
I think it's a filler, though. I think it's another filler match. I think they bring in AJ Styles. Anytime you see AJ Styles at a pay-per-view, which is most of them, he's going after a title. Of course, they're all titles. But I'm just saying, it just seems like they use him like that. You know, like, we don't have a storyline for this guy, for this title, for this pay-per-view. Let's just throw it, let's throw AJ Styles in there because he'll give a great performance. He's a crowd pleaser. He's a high flyer. You know, he's a great face. You know, I mean, it's a face anybody can. Even if you don't know the guy, you can say, "Hey, this guy is really
because
entertaining."
he always, I mean, he puts out great matches.
Yeah,
and no matter
I don't think he is a bad one.
No matter who he wrestles with, he always surprises somebody.
Makes them look better.
You know, it always takes two people, you know, to make the match go well,
right?
Look well, and AJ is probably right now to date, he would probably in my eyes be one of the best workers.
Because he makes you look good.
Yes,
and it's not from a jobbing aspect. It's
not just
it's
about
from an
AJ's,
experience.
You know, I mean, he's
athleticism.
very much so.
Yeah. But I don't think the title's gonna.
That's going to be a match. That's going to be a decent match. It's hopefully we can get someone like I mean, we can go back in time a little bit and maybe they can do some of the revisit some of the time when they were just coming up. You know, what I mean, because both of them basically in the same time. You know, and. Hopefully they give us a lot of wrestling with that match. That would be pretty awesome for those two guys.
They're both very physical.
To do a wrestling,
quick pace wrestlers.
Match.
Yeah.
So,
but what's your final pick though? What are you on, Styles or Bryan?
I think Daniel Bryan retains.
Daniel Bryan.
I don't think that AJ takes the title.
Okay, next up on the list, Universal title.
Oh my gosh!
Me and you were already talking about this as soon as we heard about
Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor.
Okay,
what is up with this?
The obvious is, tell him, Hogg. The obvious is Brock would win because he's the bigger man. He's the title holder, so on and so forth. But I mean, we were watching some other videos, and there was a suggestion by one guy who said.
Does the demon appear?
Yeah, if the demon should appear, we all agree. You agreed.
Yeah,
we agreed with the video that we saw that they would never let the demon lose to what they call Brock is the monster. The monster.
It would be. I mean, to me, I don't really see where they're going with this because.
There's no storyline whatsoever.
There would be, I mean, it'd be.
There's not even a connection. Is there even a connection?
It would be David versus
Goliath. That's what they're doing.
And I mean, it's like Finn Balor to overcome stuff. But I mean, we've already had this before.
Yes.
A couple times. But I mean, they take Braun Strowman out of this match and they put Finn Balor in. I mean, some of the decisions they made here recently. I don't really get why they've done the things they have.
They have not had a good David and Goliath match, and I mean. One of the best David and Goliath matches, I want to side note real quick, was Rey Mysterio and Kevin Nash in the old WCW. That's like, like everybody was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like even Nash took it like, you know, in character took it like, "I'm gonna just wipe the floor with this guy,"
right.
And he choke slammed him a couple times, but then Ray started, you know, getting inside and doing his actual attacks, and everybody was surprised. And then he got almost two pinfall. He almost pinned him twice. So I think that's where they're going with this. I think they're doing the whole David and Goliath thing. Can we say this? In your wisdom, if he comes out in the Demon, will he lose? If he comes out as Finn Balor, will he win or lose? You know what I'm saying? What do you say? What say you? I mean, that's the way it's going to be.
I mean,
the entrance matters. How he comes out matters. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see Brock, you know, dropping this match at all, just because of the fact that, like, I mean, it's like this guy basically, you know, he basically holds them hostage with everything he's doing by going back to the UFC, and, you know, I mean, his title, he wants to hold 2 titles in 2 different promotions, stuff like this, but they basically let him do anything that he wants. So I don't really understand where they're going with this one. I mean, is he willing to put Finn Balor over and do a good job at it? You know, I mean, who knows? But, I mean, Finn Balor is a pretty decent wrestler. I mean, you know, he's not one of my favorite guys, but yeah, he is a hell of an athlete.
Oh, he's my favorite. Don't you curse like that.
You know, I mean, he's a great athlete, and I just, you know, I've never really been a Finn Balor favorite. He's not been my favorite. I've not really been a fan. You know, and I mean, that's just me because I'm old school. I don't like, you know, I don't go too much with these younger cats because, you know, I mean, it's all high-flying stuff like that. I don't like stuff like that, you know. I mean, when I watched wrestling, when I watched wrestling, man, when I was on the come-up, man, it was, you know, back it was Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, those guys, man, Hulk Hogan.
Matt Pounders.
Yeah, I mean,
they
were guys that were entertainers.
Yeah.
And, you know, wrestling's at a point, it's kind of like at a stalemate now where it's like, okay, excuse me, you just fly all over the ring and let's see, you know, what's going to happen. But, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, it's Finn Balor. If he comes out as the Demon, which I would think that that would be kind of cool if he did.
It would be epic for him to come out as the Demon. That would be cool
if he did, because I would say if he come out as a Demon, you know, they could go with the fact that he could, you know, upset Brock Lesnar.
I think yes, I'm gonna ride with you on that. If he comes out as the Demon, Brock will not lose the title. I think he'll lose by Finn will win by disqualification because they won't let the Demon lose to Brock Lesnar, but they don't want to give Finn Balor the Universal title because there's other storylines with the Universal title they could pursue. You can't have. I'm just saying. Can't have a little guy. You know, they've built it up. Like, this is supposed to be the champion of champions.
But the one thing about it is, Finn Balor, if I'm not mistaken, he was the very first Universal Champion, was he not? And I mean, he had to relinquish that title because he was injured. I'm not for sure, but I think that he was the very first.
If you can answer that question, we will send you something for free, guaranteed. I don't know what the hell it's going to be.
From AK.
But
yes.
We will send you something.
AK likes to put his name on everything, so you know.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we'll send you a picture of AK. You know what I mean? But I'm serious. I really do think that Finn Balor was the very first Universal Champion. And he had, I mean, I don't know because I've slept a lot since then, but I thought that he had to relinquish that title because of an injury. So I may be wrong, but
we're gonna go.
Hopefully, I'm right.
We're gonna go with storyline as far as WWE. We're sticking with Brock. I mean, I don't want to, but it's just not plausible. There's nothing. I have not seen anything or nor heard anything except for what they were building up between Braun and Brock. So I mean, Lesnar and Strowman. Braun Strowman. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna stick with Lesnar on that one. And last and very least, which I don't have a whole lot because like you, I've been here and there with keeping up on WWE, but the Men's Royal Rumble. And again, who do you think is going to be the last 4 or 5 in the ring? Because you know that, and no matter, like, for example, I'm saying that because, for example, John Cena comes out number 8, you know, or they, back in the days when they'd have The Rock come out at like 10, you know, halfway through, he would still be at the end. He'd be chilling in a corner, for 2 or 3 people acting, acting dazed and faded. But who's going to be your strong? Who's going to be in the 4 or 5?
One of these guys, Rey Mysterio, I think, is going to do it again. Where he's gonna pull out the odds, and he's gonna be one of the first ones in, and one of the last people there.
Yeah, you got to think about the history of the people who've been in.
You have,
correct.
This is a match
old
for
faves.
Surprises.
There'll be an old fave or two.
Here recently, yesterday I believe, I see the internet buzzing about Abyss just signed with WWE. A lot of the stuff is talking about, him being behind the scenes and stuff like that. But does Abyss make a surprise appearance in the Royal Rumble? That would be kind of cool because, when I was, years ago, when I was doing shows in Michigan, I went up to Michigan and I actually worked on a show with Chris Justice. And at that time, he was going by Chris Justice. And that's when he was one of the enhanced talent for WWE. And, he had been on TV before, and I'm very happy that he finally got his crack to be signed there, and he actually gets to go in another persona as far as, not just an enhanced talent guy. Who knows what's going to happen, but I think it'd be kind of cool if Abyss did show up in the Royal Rumble. Then you have, guys that can come back in and return. It's always fun to watch that because, I've been let down the last few years because there were guys that I really wanted to be there that would make a surprise appearance, and they never, it never happened. But, it would really be awesome if they would, I know it's a long shot, but, have The Undertaker out for this one.
Hell, throw Billy Gunn out there. The Gunn brothers.
I don't think Billy Gunn's going to be doing that because Billy's actually now, he's going to be a producer for the All Elite Wrestling or whatever it is.
Nice.
So he's a producer for them, and that's, that's another thing too. Right now they have to try to grab stuff because they have competition. Now the WWE is going to be they're going to be competing a little bit more because the guy that started this wrestling promotion up, All Elite Wrestling, I think is what it is. I'm not for sure it's AEW, or I'm not exactly sure what the call name is, but it's the everybody's supposed to be jumping ship, and it's like a lot of guys and gals are asking for release, and
because they're just tired of the McMahon formula. They want something different.
They want to go over there because everybody's supposed to be on equal playing field. But
But that you have to admit, getting off the subject, but you have to admit that is always an attraction. WCW did the same thing to WWF when it was WWF or even WWE. WCW offered Eric Bischoff offered a better playing field, a more fun, more fun atmosphere, better storylines. Taking care of the actual wrestler, that was all talked about in the documentaries and everything. It was just openly admitted that's...
But it was basically what that was throwing money at these guys, bigger money at these guys that had guaranteed contracts and stuff like that, I believe. And he just basically had this guy's wallet, and he just said, okay, let's just go ahead and throw this money at you. Yeah. So, they would take the money. So, I'm not too sure if that's actually what's happening now. I think that they've got their, the Elite and Cody Rhodes. I think they've pretty much, they just want to, they want to be there, and they just want to do something different. Jericho's now with them and stuff like that too, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see. But
So back to we got to sidetrack. Yeah. Back to Royal Rumble. Who's going to be at the end?
Who comes in?
You said at least an old fave. You got an old fave in the ring.
I say Mysterio is one, and I'm not for sure right now if Cena's in it. I've seen something where they said that he had some sort of injury, but if he's there, John Cena would be another one. Drew McIntyre, and I'm going to say my pick, as much as I'm thinking, because I think they could do something very special with this dude. I don't really like, him 100%, but I think he's got a pretty decent gimmick. It's Elias. Elias is pretty cool.
Yeah.
WWE is like, who wants to walk with Elias?
Yeah.
That could be pretty interesting because, it's like he already got the, the moniker and the tag going on, but, put him in a main event, put him, up there for the big show. coming up for WrestleMania. I mean, it could be interesting, but like I said, man, if John Cena's there, I mean, you've always got to go with the horse that pretty much puts you on top. And right now, that's Cena, but I mean, it's going to be special. Hopefully they have some surprise entrants, and they have some people that come in and some different stuff. I mean, this is always an exciting time, as I look forward to January and the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, because the best two pay-per-views all year is Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So, I don't know. It's going to be kind of interesting. But yeah, I would say that my pick, my first pick would be John Cena, and then I'd say, for a backup or reserve, I'd kind of like to see Elias go over in that. It's kind of my
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I said John Cena, but I said, if I had to take a second pick, I would say that Elias would.
Yeah, Elias.
Yeah.
So that is the Royal Rumble. That's the Royal Rumble card for the event. I'll be watching it, obviously, again, all by myself here at home, because nobody wants to watch it with me. And this guy's comfortable in his house. I'm comfortable in my house,
Yes, sir.
But anyway, we'll watch it. And our next vlog will be, and this will go out on audio hopefully this weekend too. It'll be on audio, actual audio podcast. We'll do it. Our next show will be about after, and see if our predictions were right. Really,
I doubt they were, and I'm not going to remember who I said.
I know, right?
But the one thing about it is, maybe we can, once the guys see this, some of the guys from AACW might be interested in maybe going live to the vlog or something.
Yeah,
we can focus on one of those guys.
Yeah, give us a holler in the comments and on Facebook, AACW, whoever. If you're a worker out there and you want to be on the show, just let us know.
I got a lot of feedback from our first one that we done that people kind of like that, and they said that they would like to be a guest on the show. So I mean, every other one, maybe every other one, maybe we could do something to where we could figure out a way to try to get them on live with the
definitely. And you got to think of this. This is a good push for you because you can show this video. They're nice and short and sweet. Wouldn't take on go on and on. We'd have you right out at the first part of the video so that you could show it to other promoters or use it as promotion. So yeah, I mean, just get a hold of us. Get a hold of Shane, Mr. Hogg here on Facebook, me on Facebook. We're also in charge. We both are in charge of the AACW Facebook page, so you can also message either one of us through that and let us know you want to come on the show. We'll get out. We'll just talk details and work something out.
Right now, we don't have a tentative date for shows.
Yes.
We're going to try to work a little bit harder on that, and going into next year when we actually come live, I think me and AK are going to be doing more of maybe like a vlog where we're going to work together to try to put these out there now. Since we got this started, we are personalities now. Here, and we're going to try to reach out to everybody, but I think we're going to try to do something special on the shows. But once we do figure out what's going on, we have to relocate, and once we find a building, figure out what's going on, we'll get the dates out. We will give everybody information on that. But like I said, any independent workers, any of our talent from AACW, you guys will call for one show, either on a vlog. It'll be like maybe every other show where we'll do something with one of you guys live if you want to come up. Like I said, we'll just try some different things out. So
if you're not too far, we'll come to you. If you're really not too far, we can set up somewhere near you and be in your natural environment. So that's the show for this week. Also catch us. We're also located under Cage Rage on YouTube. We're also, check out some, if you like MMA and boxing, check out those, the Cage Rage. They also have Wage Rage, which is about the betting. Same time this weekend, there's an MMA Fedor versus Bader. I think it's MMA. And so if you want information on betting and stuff like that, we have Wage Rage. But we are the 1, 2, 3 show. I'm AK.
It's all.
We'll see you later.
Peace.